And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the unveiling of the brackets. But before we get to that, Jam did something special for us, so I'll let him go ahead and introduce that.
Well, I did nothing, Crimson. It was the community. It was all of you guys who saw all the awesome moments in the tournament and submitted. Well, I'm really creeped out right now. I don't know what that was. That's good. But you guys submitted clips, and we got those all together, and we shoved them into a video, and we wanted to present it to you guys in its full entirety. So, without further ado, you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you on the other side.
Nate White Sword hits, and he's going to take that path to the right because that takes him somewhere new he hasn't been before. Now, the beast awaits up north is a skull. No kidding, man.
Thank you. Thanks for nothing, old man Captain Obvious. We knew that. We just took care of the beast. That is funny.
Oh my god. No, he doesn't await. You already killed him.
Yes, indeed. This guy.
Bomb says no.
Bomb continues to say no.
Oh, staircase right here. Where does this go?
I think that's the one. I think I remember it being a trap room staircase that JSR took now that I think about it.
Oh, brought it right into her room!
Oh, even better. A magicaler staircase.
Hello! That's if he goes the right direction. So all we have to do is Okay.
Jam showing off his tingle at the Tingle Kula Limpa! Fine.
I had not even realized that the very beginning when Jay Coper was in there. That is, well, we get the compass. We're 2 rooms away.
Okay, he can bomb there. Can he bomb here? No!
And he
No!
the bombs!
Oh!
And he's
No!
magic staircase
It is
away
the
from it!
staircase! It's the staircase with Goma! He has to buy freaking arrows! Or no, I guess he can get through, but
Well,
man.
he can block clip around it, but oh my god, he accidentally used up a bomb!
Oh, what good is the magic key, man?
Oh, that was
Another Goma for good measure. Another thing is he only has 6 rupees now with which to kill the blue Goma. We don't know how many hits it will take.
Yeah, if it's shuffled, that could be rough.
Oh, and he tried to gamble for the double hit and missed one. Oh, and he missed again.
Oh no.
He's got 2 hits, and he has 2 arrows remaining. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, and it's shuffled!
Oh,
Oh
that's it.
no!
4 was not enough.
Oh man, level 7 saying, hey, I don't think so.
Goma, more like Noma.
Right, so it could be the correct call, and you can win off of that. At the same time, it could be the correct call to not, and
Or
pick
there you
Zelda.
can just have Zelda right there and not need him. Surprise Zelda, everybody!
And Crimson gonna finish with a time of 53:09, right as Isolated makes his way in.
Confirmed that we're on level 2, which means
More-
a third
more
Wizard
wish runs.
dungeon. Trigger off these spike traps and be able to pick up this harp. Because I'm certain at this point in time, both of
Wait.
these guys know about the
You skip
mechanic
it.
here. Oh, he still doesn't grab it.
Interesting.
Nope. So now the question is, where are the silvers?
Because it's I want to say it's possible. Oh, Zarnax has to pick up a heart here. He does not have much of a choice unless you up an ace.
Well, he actually has to
Wait,
pick up a. Oh,
what is-
he's
what is he
gonna
doing?
skip over it.
Oh wow!
Are you kidding me? He's doing
Alright,
everything in his
Zarnax
power
is
to
going
avoid
very
these
low to the
hearts,
first
and
set.
we get the recorder pickup here for Dracados, and now he can head on over to level 7. Are you kidding me? He is definitely deciding to skip over these hearts. He wants a 5-heart run.
Diamond Staircase is in its normal location here, and we are rewarded with. Hey, Rick's going to go ahead and pick up the wooden boomerang. Putt's going to ignore it. Well, now I am firmly on Team Rick, everybody. Oh, hell! That's the best. That is the absolute best.
Rick knows that you're calling this race, so of course he has to do that. That's fantastic. Somebody get a clip of that. That's fantastic.
That's absolutely glorious.
Going to be huge for him, especially to go back into level 6, I believe, or was it 4? May have been both.
It may have been both, but I think 4. I think he thinks 4 is. And TGE with the all hail the banana lord. Yeah, that's funny.
And he chooses the candle instead.
Be 3 large secrets or just 1?
Items are shuffled. Greenlee found the magic boomerang under the Armos.
Oh, and did he pick it up?
No, he did not.
I wouldn't think so. He's a fan of Lord Banana. You wouldn't want to go
Oh, he's
against
picking
him.
it up!
He is picking it up!
And Bucky finds the sword.
Wow. This is, well, it is a race. You got to keep in mind, there are no alliances when it comes to a tournament race right here.
Some people like to call it the whistle. Some people like to call it the magic tutti flute. I like to call it the recorder. Actually, nobody calls it the magic tutti flute. I just made that up.
Definitely a cactus.
Wait, who's Jam's hosting this, right? Yep, it's a cactus.
Meanwhile, you got to hope for something like a white sword or something for Saber here to help him catch back up. And we have a tri-clock. The reason why that happens is because the gels and the red keys don't actually increment the drop counter. So when they actually have a drop, whatever it is, that's what they're stuck on.
Is he gonna go check out? Gonna bomb there. Rick, we found 2 Wizrobe dungeons.
Yeah.
Level 3 and level 8 were both Wizrobe.
Yeah, 3 and 8 were Wizrobes.
For Dragon Dark. 8.
Yep, and
9.
I
10.
have not really been
11.
coached.
12.
Toaster's got a stun
13,
lock.
14. Double stun lock.
Toaster's got a
15.
stun lock.
Dragon Dark takes the piggy down. Toaster takes the piggy down.
Dyer went.
Oh! Look at this! Zelda's in the team room!
Game, we have to have a talk here. You're being mean.
He goes.
No, he's going to the staircase.
Maybe he's like red rings in there. Maybe I need that. Or silver arrow. And the door is open, guys. There is a key door to Zelda. RB89 is gonna wrap this up if he knows how to ladder clip. Oh my god! Get that ladder clip.
Look at this room.
I am on my knees, ladies and gentlemen. I just freaked out.
See how
This
long
comes down to
the
that
ladder
clip.
takes.
He got it, and he's in there. Zarby89 has just
Nice
won
clip.
this seed. Wow! What a
What a
level
race.
9. Oh.
What else is? Or lime. I'm sorry. I meant to say lime, but I'm so distracted I said lemon.
If you weren't awake yet, looking at the screen. Look at the screen now, and that'll get you going.
BT dying with a heart.
Oh.
Somebody clip that. That is amazing. Once again proving the game will kill you before it takes into account that you've had any hearts, even if you...
Buying 4 for the price of 14 rupees.
Gambles and gets 57!
Oh, man!
The MVP play! And then buys a 44 rupee hint! Are you kidding me right now? What?
Oh! Yes, take a seat over there. Please.
I am so confused! You have Boomstick by an any road, and you spend 140 rupees on hints!
Oh, man.
What? Gambles against 57 again, why not? And done it twice in a row, he's got the Boomstick! What is this game?
4 straight successful gambles.
Oh.
I love this one.
Oh, that was great. Oh, man. Thank you all for submitting those. It was a pleasure to put those together, and I had many laughs putting that together, and I'm laughing still. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah. What else do we have in store now, Crimson?
All right, well, we're going to start getting into the bracket reveal. A lot of people could put a lot of speculation into this because it was pretty much straightforward. Our main concern was we wanted to be transparent in how the selection process for the brackets happened. So we did, at the very beginning, put forward the requirements for seating and everything else. So people could actually figure out where they were seated, but we're still going to do the bracket reveal just sort of to keep the hype going for the upcoming match that we have tonight. So why not just get right into it? So you'll see us progress forward, and for the next slide, it's actually the opening round stages, which is, I believe, 4 matches. So these will be between our 6 highest people from the race off that we just had yesterday, as well as the 2 lowest seeded 3 and 1 players. So we'll actually start with the 13-20 matchup. So in the 20th seed, we have okay, maybe my transitions are off. So how about we start with the 16-17 then?
16-17 sounds good.
Yeah.
Probably easier to adjust to the slideshow than the other way around.
Yeah, we'll adjust to the slideshow. So our 17th seed is Amazing Ampharos, and he will be competing against the 16th seed, Zyre.
Yep.
So, Jam, Coper, comments on this matchup?
The most obvious thing that stands out right here is that these two are just in the tiebreaker race, the go to the next round race, and they finished 1 second apart. So that's pretty amazing. Of course, there are going to be a lot more things, a lot more flags at play in the bracket here, but could something like that happen again? I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
What I'm looking forward to is in this matchup, seeing how these guys react to Sprite Shuffle and or Blackout Seeds. Could be terribly, terribly confusing. Swordless Seeds. I think I've seen both of these players practice Swordless before. So I
Yeah,
hope that some of these flags come into play, but all of them at the same time could be pretty treacherous for any player.
I know AA has said that he has no plans to practice swordless or blackout, and if it happens in a race, he's just going to deal with it. He doesn't want to play them any more than he has to. I don't know what Zaire's plans are for practicing, but as anyone who's probably relatively new to these flags, I imagine that he's got to at least do a few playthroughs to get used to them. But I am looking forward to something like that happening.
Yeah, definitely the rematch of second and third place going to be in this match. These guys were pretty fast in the tiebreaker race, and I expect them to play just as hard in this matchup.
Yeah, Zaire has definitely been a pleasant surprise this randomizer tournament. I haven't seen him do a lot of randomizer stuff, but definitely has done well so far. So this should be a very good matchup. We'll go ahead into our next play-in round matchup.
Which could be any number.
We'll follow Dork on this.
Hey, it's a me, JamEvil. I'd be biased if I was talking about myself. You know, that guy's pretty good, so watch out.
So we do have JamEvil at number 19, and he will be going up against Bresticle, our champion of the play-in round. So since Jam has deferred his comments, Cooper, what do you have to say?
These are two of the absolute best randomizer players in my opinion, and it's kind of crazy that they're going to be in a play-in race in the bracket stage here. So whenever that happens, it's going to be a pretty hyped up race, I think. So yeah, definitely be one to look forward to.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see this one go down. Moving on to our next one. We have the 18th seed, Amazing Toaster, going up against our 14th seed, RC Drone. And just a little note, apparently my slide is a little off. The winner of the JamEvil Bresticle match will actually play the second seed. The winner of the Amazing Toaster RC Drone will play the third seed. That will be reflected later on. But yeah, so we have Amazing Toaster and RC Drone. Guys?
RC Drone, definitely the biggest up and comer in the randomizer scene over the past year, and has shown his ability to not only learn the randomizer ins and outs, but also play like a maniac. That guy tops the charts now on the Zelda Randomizer leaderboard on Speedruns Live. Is he still on the top? I haven't checked in a day or two, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, so you know, great player, definitely a force to be reckoned with in this seed, and I think he's going to be my favorite pick as much as I love the Toast Man.
Yeah, Amazing Toaster has shown a lot of randomizer ability. You know, he's in those nightly chaos races just about every day, and he's shown some pretty good adaptation to the flags that we had in the Swiss rounds. You know, there are a lot more obstacles being introduced in the next rounds, but as long as he's practicing those, maybe he'll do just as well in those. But RC Drone is a matchup that none of us want in the randomizer. He's, you know, he seems to have a real understanding for the randomizer, and his skill in the game has improved tremendously. Whereas when he's done any percent runs now, I think he's got a 30 something. Not exactly sure what his time was, but yeah, he's around in that top 10 to 15 for any percent times as well. And it should be a good race, for sure. Looking forward to all of these races so far.
Absolutely. And that will bring us into our final matchup. So apparently we went in reverse order, and I have all my numbers wrong. But our last matchup will be the 20th seed, and that is JSR2 Gamers going up against our 13th seed, Darkwing Duck SDA.
Oh boy, this isn't a matchup for the ages. Looking at JSR, the big up and comer in this race, in Zelda Randomizer and Zelda any percent, definitely putting up some crazy times in a short amount of time. Probably the most improved player, I'd say, in the past 6 months for any percent. And Darkwing Duck, the grandfather of I'm not calling him old, but he's like the originator of the Zelda speed run scene. Like without Darkwing Duck, without people like Darkwing Duck, Cantaloupe, Jay Coper, and Lack Attack, like without these guys, none of this would exist. So, big props in that department. But as far as a player goes, one of the best of this era in this tournament, I'd say, as far as any percent goes. Randomizer, he's really good. He's consistent. As long as he keeps track of what's going on, he's a big contender for this race.
Yeah, Yunus could make an argument for that. Any percent best player too, but Darkwing, very long time record holder and obviously very capable. JSR though has also proven very capable at the regular game as well, where he recently got his own sub 30 time. Darkwing though has been playing the randomizer and the regular game for much longer and has a pretty intimate understanding of the whole thing. So like JSR on the other hand is still familiarizing himself with some things, I think. So it's going to be hard to beat Darkwing on either skill or knowledge of this game. And this could be a tough matchup, but it'd be hard to pick against Darkwing, I think. Of course, it's all random, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if that Fisher-Price Firehouse Rescue skills transfer over to Randomizer.
Yeah.
With ASR. Channel your inner fire rescue man, and you'll be all right.
Okay, I'm just going to make sure that the rest of the brackets are okay. So go ahead and give your thoughts, guys, on the play and round itself, just all 4 matches as a whole while I do this quick.
I think, the thing that stands out to me is the number of top randomizer players that are sitting in this round. It's kind of unbelievable. And I think that really goes to show the depth of the tournament field as a whole.
Yeah, just the amount of really good experienced Zelda Randomizer players in the tiebreaker race alone shows that. And just those great players sitting on the cusp of staying in and falling out, was just tremendous. And this, the time split between people finishing was relatively close. It all comes down to the good and bad decisions. I think we're going to see that in every single one of these matches. I'm particularly biased, though, to the JamEvil or Bresticle match. That one's probably going to be really good.
How long are we stalling here?
Just a few more minutes.
Minutes!
All right.
So I don't know if you guys seen it yet, but we have this video of clips. It's really funny.
Let's talk about each of these racers' favorite things and their fears. Jam, why don't you start?
My biggest fear is that the silvers are in 7. I don't search it, and Ganon is required. That's my biggest fear. I'm not afraid of swordless or like Blackout. Those don't scare me. Sprite Shuffle's a little scary sometimes, so I think a lot of these players are going to be afraid of that, and or are going to have some sort of reference guide up if they're not fully experienced with it. I know I'll have a reference guide up because I don't play a lot of Sprite Shuffle. So those are the big things, the big additions to these. Yeah, the more volatile flags, and I think everyone's kind of weary about that.
When you say a reference guide for Sprite Shuffle, I guess, are you thinking you're going to write down what each thing is as you see it, kind of?
That, and like you can take a picture of the menu, like the full menu with all of your items collected, so you know the positioning of them if you don't have that memorized, or just making sure, or just looking at items, be like, okay, that item is blue. I know the candle is blue. So
Yeah.
And it's 60 rupees, it's most likely gonna be the candle at that point.
It's definitely unfortunate. You can have things in Sprite Shuffle to the same sprite, and it can be a little frustrating when you try to use your blue candle and you end up using your last bomb instead, or use your last potion charge. Something.
Yep.
Saber
right.
says 7 of 8 seeds he practiced recently were Sprite Shuffle. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely.
This tournament is going to be amazing. There's going to be so much crazy stuff. There's going to be some really easy ones, that's for sure. But there's going to be some really real doozies here.
All right, I should have gotten everything cleaned up, hopefully. So should be able to go into the bottom half of the Sweet 16 bracket. So if everything is fixed. That is not, so Dork may have to actually close and reload the file quick.
And now, a joke. What do you get when you cross an owl with a bungee cord?
What do you get?
Nah, I'm not going to finish that joke. It's actually not appropriate.
Okay, now we're all good. So in the bottom half, we have, as you see, the 14 and 19 and the 15 and 18. So we're going to go into the other matchups that we'll have. So hopefully these all come in correctly. First one should be the 11-6 matchup. And it is, and our 11th seed is F. Coughlin, and he'll be going up against our 6th seed, Jay Coper. So, Jam?
These guys right here. Jay Coper, the Sultan of Swordless. The man, the myth, the legend. Ran Swordless at a GDQ, what was it, AGDQ? 2016?
It was SGDQ.
SGDQ, that's right. Sorry.
2015.
15, yeah, the one before that. And Fred Coughlin knows everything about the randomizer because he made it. So, yeah, talk about knowing the ins and outs, ups and downs. That's the man to watch out for. You never know. He could just, reprogram the bot to give him a specific seed. So there's nothing you can do about that. I think you'll be all right, Jay Coper. You've been putting up some really good times. You're consistent. You're well practiced. I think more practice than pretty much anyone else at this point. And you'll definitely have your work cut out for you. But you have a good chance of pulling this one off for sure.
Thanks. Fred's definitely a formidable opponent, though. I think we're fairly close in skill in the vanilla game at this point, and yeah, obviously he knows quite a bit about the randomizer's workings. I like to say half jokingly a lot of the times that a lot of the questions we have about how the randomizer exactly decides things will be answered after Fred wins this tournament, based on his extra knowledge that he has.
Oh, everything he's been telling us has been a sick joke. He's just teaching us wrong so we can have the advantage. Is that?
I'm just saying, like what exactly are the percentages that something's going to be randomized, or besides doing the research that we've done. I think we've figured a lot of that out on our own, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely had a good sample size for the beginning part of this tournament, and we'll get to see what happens with some more of these extra flags here in the.
I'm really looking forward to this, but at the same time, I'm not. This is a crazy first round matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this tournament anyway? Oh my god.
All right.
Gonna be a good round.
Yeah, definitely one of the most exciting matchups that I saw in when we put this together. Our other double-digit seed in the bottom half, our 10th seeded person is going to be Karakarn VI, and he will be going up against number 7 Adirondack Rick. Gentlemen.
Karakarn is first off, both of these guys are very experienced with the randomizer. They've done, I don't know, a lot of races, maybe hundreds. Not it. I'm probably true for Karakarn. Rick's up there as well. Over the last year or so, I would say that Karakarn's skill and combat at the game might be a little better than Rick's, but Rick, man, if there's a 0 HP seed, I would put Rick up against just about anyone in the whole tournament. So, if I were Karakarn, I would be praying for enemies to have HP, and if I were Rick, I would be praying for not. I don't know how either of them would fare with Blackout or Swordless. I assume that they're going to need some practice at those things. But, yeah, this is a really exciting matchup, and it'll be really tough to call.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stats, and I looked at how many races they've both done on Speedruns Live for Zelda 1 Hacks, and Adirondack Rick has 371 total races on Speedruns Live for Zelda 1 Hacks, and Karakarn has 372. So that 2-game advantage on Speedruns Live definitely puts him as the favorite for this one as my pick. No, they're both very, very skilled. They're both very good players in multiple games. Adirondack Rick, an excellent Tetris player as well, if you didn't know. And Karakarn plays a lot of the Final Fantasies. So, just experienced gamers overall. And as far as randomizer goes, over 300, almost 400 matches. You can't put a price tag on that type of experience. So
yes.
It's going to be great matchup there.
So theoretically, if this turns into a multi-hour slugfest, then Karakarn has the endurance advantage probably, whereas Rick's advantage will be if you need to quickly put the pieces together in the race or something along those lines.
So you're saying Rick is more of a sprinter and Karakarn is the marathon man.
Well, I'm just saying that based on their other games.
Fair enough.
All right. For the winner of the 14-19 matchup, they will get to advance and play none other than myself. Comments?
Crimson.
I'll deafen myself, don't worry.
How'd you get the 3 seed? No, you definitely proved yourself in this tournament, man. Like you've always been a great randomizer player. Sometimes you get bogged up here and there, but I think lately you've been really fine-tuning your gameplay, and either one of these opponents are going to be a workout for you if they advance. So Toaster, really good randomizer player, and Drone, the number-wise, the top Zelda player for randomizer at this time. For now, holding the title on SRL for now. Those points don't always matter. It's like what is it? Whose line is it anyway? Where the seeds are made up and the points don't matter.
And I gotta say, Krim, I'm looking forward to if you win your race and I win mine, then we get to match up, and I'm hoping that you use that backwards link sprite again. You know,
That's not likely.
yeah. Everyone would love to see that, though. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I may have a sprite up my sleeve for the 14-19 matchup.
For the 14-19 matchup?
Yeah, the
Or
winner of
for
the
whoever
14-19.
advances?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll look forward to seeing that.
All right, and
Wait. Who do you want to play against
who do I want to play against?
out of that matchup? Who is your preferred opponent?
Honestly, the way I play, I don't really care who, because at my best I can beat both of them, and at my worst I can be beaten by both of them. So I'm more concerned with how I play rather than who I'm facing.
Neutral and acceptable. Thank you.
And for the winner of BT Jam, they get the honors of facing the number 2 seed, Adaginos.
The Orange Crew. Oh boy.
Man, that is a fun set of 3 racers right there. I think you guys are all good friends here, and especially BT and HN, the old commentary pairing. Adaginos is obviously a very skilled randomizer player, and he, over the past few months, has really spearheaded Masochist Mondays and Throwback Thursdays to get us playing a lot of different randomizer settings besides the shapes ones that have really been prevalent since that feature was introduced. So he's got a lot of experience with both the shapes and the non-shapes. I think that he prefers non-shapes as many other people do. But yeah, we got a nice old school feel at the bottom of this bracket in contrast to the little bit more of the new school on the top half of that side there. So yeah, that's going to be a fun matchup regardless of who advances. That's man, that's brutal for HN. Whoever he gets there.
I think it's
Gonna be
brutal
rough.
for us. I feel the other way around. I think Bresticle and I have it in for us if we advance. So one of us has to make it through, and then we have to fight against Adaginos. And yeah, that guy right there, he's good. So not looking forward to either of these opponents as far as skill goes. My anxiety will be high in a match like that.
And I must say that something that I noticed putting this together, and we'll notice it when we get to the top half too, there's really no one that anyone else would want to face in this top 20, because, I mean, randomizer as a whole, there's just so many good players anymore that I don't care who I'd be matched up against, I would still be worried about that matchup.
Yeah, there aren't really any free rides in this bracket. I think that the Swiss kind of served its purpose in making sure that everyone who got to this point was pretty qualified. So yeah, every race is going to be an adventure.
Definitely. So we'll jump up into the top half of the Sweet 16. We see we already have our 16-17 matchups and our 13-20 matchups. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the other matchups that we have here. And we have our 12th seed, K-Mac, and he will be going up against the 5th seed, Dragon Dark.
This is another pretty exciting matchup right here. Got the two kind of old school NES speedrunners who have held records on several other games and proven capable at the vanilla Zelda game as well. But they're also pretty good randomizer players. I think K-Mac has a bit of an experience edge in the randomizer. He's done hundreds of races himself. Dragon Dark has done a lot with his friends off SRL. But K-Mac probably has a little bit more experience with a lot of the features of the randomizer than Dragon Dark does. So unless Dragon Dark's been practicing a lot of the flags that we're gonna see in this bracket round, I would give a little bit of an edge to K-Mac. But Dragon Dark obviously earned that 5 seed by beating some tough opponents. So could be a good race.
Yeah, and it should be a good race. I mean, there's not much you can say about these two that haven't already been said about all these other matchups. A lot of these matchups are just really, really good, and it's hard not to repeat yourself. Dragon Dark, an excellent, excellent video game player of all games, shapes and sizes. I've seen him do platforming to RPGs, and, you name it. But as far as the Zelda Randomizer goes, he's been doing a lot of practice with Madrick during this tournament, just doing offline runs or just private runs, private races against each other, and definitely experienced himself a lot with these upcoming flags, so he should be well prepared for that. K-Mac, just a veteran of all different randomizer flags and seeds all together, so this should be a matchup for the ages, guys.
Absolutely. And speaking of matchups for the ages, our 9th seed is none other than Saber, and he will be taking on the 8th seed, Unos.
You see Saber's already in 9.
Absolutely. It had to work out like that. Here we go, guys. Have fun with this.
I'm sad to say that one of these guys are going to be leaving the tournament after this match. Like, they're in a position right now that either one of these excellent players who have the ability to win this entire tournament have to play just this one match against each other, and only one advances. This is anyone's game here. Both of these players, very, very good. Saber, methodical and knows when to take risks, calculated risk. Unos the same way, and just an excellent executioner of the game itself. Not just to kill it, but his execution is flawless. So this is going to be insane match to watch.
It's again a little ridiculous that we have this matchup in the first round of the elimination bracket here. Saver for a long time was considered the top player, and he was the #1 seed in the previous randomizer tournament. And I said at that time, if we didn't have a Saver in that tournament, then Unos would have been the Saver of that tournament. Unos has seen in these 2 randomizer tournaments a tendency to get upset, but still his skill at the game, and he's played it virtually every day for I don't know how long, grinding that any % record, and his knowledge of the randomizer and little tricks that he can do. Like, he is always looking to clip through any doors that he can, things like that. That makes him really formidable. But Saber, he was really at the top. He makes really good decisions most of the time in the randomizer. And this is going to be quite a race, I think. I hope that Saber's been practicing. But I'm really looking forward to this one, of course.
Yeah, I can imagine there's going to be a lot of people jumping on the volunteer schedule for commentary for that one. That's for sure. The winner between JSR and DWD will get to go up against our 4th seed, the dark horse from Europe, Trakados. Definitely not much was known about him entering this tournament, but he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. Guys, what are your thoughts?
he's put a lot of time into learning what goes into randomizer. You know, the ins and outs. I don't think I've seen anyone pick up the game as quickly and execute as well as he has in the past. Like he just asks questions upon questions upon questions and gets all this information and retains it and then puts it into practice. And that's what's good about Dracados. That's what he's doing. That's why he's number 4 seed in this tournament, and that's why he's done so well up until this point. And I have no doubt that he has the ability to go up against these powerhouses. As I saw that word in chat, I liked it, and I could definitely describe both of these up and comers from the lower bracket, Darkwing Duck and JSR. The winner of that definitely going to have their work cut out for them with Dracados.
Yeah, Dracados is he's been a loyal viewer on my stream for a while, and you know, he's brought up Randomizer and said he's been playing it and getting some decent times, and I've always encouraged him like I've done for anyone. And then he didn't start racing with us until a few weeks ago, around when the tournament was started. And like even as soon as he started racing, he was competitive and putting up times right among the top people, and he's only improved since then. So it's no surprise that he had such a great Swiss round of this tournament, and he's definitely going to be a tough matchup for whichever of Darkwing or JSR emerged there. I think Darkwing has to be hoping for second quest stuff if he gets there, because Dracados doesn't have as much experience with that, but he's been practicing and he will practice, and I think he'll be ready.
So you're saying that that Drac is actually your Padawan, and you're the Jedi Master who taught him everything he knows. He's your prodigy, and he's your proxy in the number 4 seed there. Maybe.
I can't claim that.
Okay.
Dracados says he wants second quest over first quest. That's a dangerous thing to wish for against Darkwing. I'm just gonna say that much. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the number one thing that could help Darkwing is if you got vanilla second quest dungeons without room shuffle. So.
All right.
My weakness.
And that will bring us to our number 1 seed, and having a random percent tournament, who better to have as our number 1 seed than Random Effect? Went 4-0, and through virtues of tiebreakers, does have our number 1 seed, so he will get the winner of the Zyre AA matchup.
Who is that guy? I never heard of that guy. He doesn't exist. Amazing show by Random Effect coming into this tournament full force, winning all 4 of his matches, getting the number 1 seed, and showing that he is not just another randomizer player. He is the randomizer player, and yeah, it's your challenge to go up there and take him down. So I think he's ready for any challenge that gets thrown at him. He has definitely shown some cool moves under pressure throughout all these races, and I expect to see the same in this bracket.
Obviously, my one loss was to Random Effect, and I didn't feel like I played terribly in that race. He just he outplayed me. Maybe got a little luckier, but I could have made better decisions, I suppose, to help myself out, and I didn't. And he's proven very capable of racing and making decisions on the fly. Again, this is someone who has done a lot of both randomizer and the vanilla game recently, and has a lot of skill with both of them. So he's capable of winning against anyone for sure. Very deserving that spot, and it will be fun to see him matched up against whoever he gets matched up with.
All right, so there you have our brackets and how they'll be filled out. We will post a link to the challenge page for this. Eunice will probably go ahead and do that in chat. but that's where you will be able to monitor the matchups and everything else. And also for the bracket stages, you will be able to eventually do your predictions for there as well. On the next slide, it's going to be a really quick slide, but this shows the rankings and how each person received their positions in the tournament. You'll see that there's the wins, the strength of victory, which is that Buckholt's place on challenge, and then the strength of schedule, which is all the matches that the people had.
Yeah, as you can see, sometimes people came down to the fourth tiebreaker.
Yeah,
So, there's a lot of really close differences in seeding, as you would expect with only 4 races to go on.
yeah. So the race win time wasn't really needed much. It was only needed to separate Dracados and Dragon Dark and Jake Cooper and Rick and Saber and Karakarn. Very, very close, but definitely the way the seeding fell, it could have been either way. So one last slide that we have, just so people can know what to expect going into this, is we do have a couple new flags that are going to be introduced. A lot of them are second quest overworld flags. We have random dungeons with second and mixed quest for dungeons now as an option. We have second quest rooms. We have second quest doors, which are walk-through walls basically. We have second quest monsters. We have sprite shuffle, swordless, and blackout. These are going to be the new flags that are mixed into the randomizer, the random percent. So any of these 7 can now be in play for the remainder of the flags up until the Elite Four, when we have a few new additional flags on top of it.
Yeah, when we constructed the flags for the Swiss round, we wanted to, not really baby people with them, but make them a little more welcoming to newer players so that they could get a feel for things and not have to deal with a lot of the stressful things that come with some of these flags. But once we get to this point where everyone's in the elimination bracket, everyone's got a little more experience, probably a little more skill, and it's time to, take the gloves off and just let people come whatever may and deal with it. The only thing that's not on there really is one hit KO, which, I was personally kind of in favor of including at some point, but we couldn't include it because there's no guarantee that seeds are beatable with that on. Though there are a few flags that are notably missing from here. Ones that are allow you to beat the game much more quickly, with important item drops and 9 being either open or unlocked by something other than the Triforce, because we wanted to have full races. If we are, if it's just one race, we want to have a full race and have people get their money's worth.
Correct, and it was brought up in chat, and one thing that we did want to discuss is the use of swordless. Now, with swordless flags, the wood sword will always be available at the beginning of level 9 behind the old man. Once you obtain that sword, it is usable for the remainder of the seed. Basically, if the randomizer gives it to you, you can use it.
So there's one note there. The sword will be available immediately behind the old man. For sure, if rooms are shuffled. If rooms are not shuffled in 9, then the sword might not be available until the final Patra. So just something to keep in mind. We only saw a few seeds that didn't have shuffled rooms in the first few rounds of the tournament. So that's an unlikely situation, but very possible. Yeah, the sword is always there. You can't. There is no guarantee if Ganon is going to be required or not. Even if Ganon is not forced to be required, he could still be in the way, and you still might have to kill Ganon in a Swordless Seed, regardless if he's forced or not. Just to get through him to get to Zelda.
Absolutely. So we're going to wrap things up here because we do have a special event just immediately following. So don't go anywhere because starting as soon as they get set up, we are actually going to have the Jammy DT matchup for this bracket race. So yeah, you guys are going to get your first race right off the bat. And yeah, we should have a lot of excitement. We're going to have none other than Adiginos and Adirondack Rick on the call as well. So yeah, stick around and we will get that right to you.
Go big or go home, right, boys? Let's do this.